everybody. So I don't even know where my damn watch is. I'll try to look up the time and the date for you guys. Let's see here. My phone, my watch is being kind of stupid. Anyways, it is. I know for sure it's Wednesday. I think it's the 30th. I want to say so. Yeah, so I made that video last night, and I guess there's some people saying that it's like something with the audio. I don't know. I've watched it on my iPad. I've watched it on my phone. I mean, I've done everything. I've watched it on multiple devices. Sorry, that's my curtain. I've watched it on multiple devices, and it's working fine. So I went ahead and I'm recording a video with my phone, so maybe that might make a difference. Maybe I was probably talking a little lower than I was normally. Because I was smoking, so I had my window down, so I didn't want to bother. There wasn't actually nobody next to me. I just didn't want to bother anybody. But I just woke up. It's 8:46. It is the 30th. It's 8:46 in Salt Lake City. And currently, right now, I'm updating my iPad, so I couldn't record if I wanted to. I'm gonna try and see what it's like doing the video and like editing it all on my phone and then uploading it. So let me know in the comments what it's like, if it works better or whatever. I haven't done it that way, so I don't know what to expect. So we'll see. Anyways, so last night I was reading your comments. I responded to a few of them, but somebody was wondering when I was going to make a video about why I went lease. And I had thought about that. And I know that I had touched on in like the last, I would say last probably maybe 5 to 8 videos, I've talked about like some of the reasons why I went lease as opposed to going company. And I when I first had gone to Prime, you know, I was thinking, yeah, I want to go lease. You know, that's, you know, I think that's where I want to be. But then as I started to go through it, talk to more people, it wasn't necessarily that I was trying to change my mind. It was that other people were trying to change my mind. And like, as if like, you know, like don't do it, but then, you know, but they're lease, you know, like, you know, trying to change your mind, and then but they're also lease, you know what I mean? And they're not having any issues with it. The people they know aren't having any issues with it, and I'll tell you why they tell you that. But before I get into that, I want to go into why I went lease. Well, okay, let's not get straight into it. Let's do this. Let's talk about the differences between lease and company. I know a lot of people, as including Joey, the guy I told you about in the last video, he even had the same question. What are the main differences about going lease and company? And his trainer told him, oh, it's the same thing. It's literally the same thing. You just drive the truck. That's what his trainer told him. And I was like, no, it's not the same thing. If you go company, think of it as like, you know, you're getting a normal W-2. You go to work, you drive, they take your taxes out, your FICA and Social Security and all that stuff, and here they give you a fuel card. Here you go. Make sure you know you don't let it get too low, and fill it up when you need to, and you know, go, you know, take this load, and you know, for all the miles that you drive, we'll pay you for it, even if you don't even have a load, and the deadhead will pay you for that too. You know, but you have to stay out so many weeks in order to get so many days home. So we need you to stay out this many weeks, and then if you do that, you'll get this many days home. That's basically company in a nutshell. You get your medical, your dental, your benefits, just like you would at any other company that you work at. With leasing, it's not like that. With leasing, you need to pay the taxes, right? So when you get paid, you're a 1099 contracted to Prime. You're driving Prime's equipment, you got Prime's trailer, you're using Prime's app, all that stuff. But when they send you a load, and it'll tell you, you know, basically the estimated line total, whatever it's estimated to be, and that's what you should get. That's just an estimation. You get 72% of the revenue. It's not like being company, where company you're paid per mile, and depending on division you're in, you get paid a certain amount. You can find all that stuff on Prime Inc's website, because it's different depending on the truck you choose. I know they have like the, what do you call them, the lightweights or whatever. They're kind of weird, tiny. I could never do it. But you know, like reefer and flatbed, and you know, the rest of the divisions, tanker, they all get paid something depending on, you know, whatever factors. So cents per mile. Lease is not like that. So then when you get paid, say it's, I don't know, $3,000, let's say total for the week. That's what you did. You still got to take out your lease payment for the truck, your APU rental, if you have navigation, and all this other stuff they take out. For your tire fund, that just in case your tires go flat or whatever. Your e-fund for your emergency fund, for if you go on home time or whatever you might need it for. And then whatever's left after that, that's what you get paid. That's in a nutshell what the main differences are. So, taxes and stuff, you're gonna have to pay yourself. You got to set up an LLC, the bank account that you're using. It's got to be a business account for the money to be deposited in, unless you're using the Comdata card, which is your badge, basically, that Prime gives you, your purple badge. If you don't have a business account set up, that's where they're going to deposit it to. I don't really like it because when you do want to send money to, let's say, a personal account, it takes up to 5 days. It takes forever. So when I send money from my business account to my personal account, it only takes about a day. Depending on if I use Zelle or not, because most of the accounts now have Zelle built in. Then that's basically like the money situation, basically in a nutshell. You got to do more fuel saving and stuff like that because you want to lower your costs as a lease operator. Company, you don't have to worry about any of that. Drive the shit out of it, get it there, that's it, be done. With lease, like I said, you got to pay attention to your fuel. You got to pay attention. Making sure you're keeping your receipts if you're paying for stuff out of pocket. You got to get somebody to help do your taxes. So it sounds like it's a lot, but it really isn't. It's really not that hard if you do a little research. I think what a lot of people look at is the money, and they look at the home time. Those are the two things that I've heard the most that people look at when they decide whether to go lease or company, is the money and the home time. Now, in a normal average market, who's going to make more money? A lease operator. The lease operator is going to make more money, assuming that it's a normal average week, that you didn't do anything crazy, that kind of thing. I'm not talking about, week to week. I'm saying on a normal average week, a normal lease operator is going to make much more than a company driver. Now, company drivers do get bonuses and things like that. But when, let's say, the freight is down a little bit, let's say the freight gets so fucking bad that it's just terrible and blah, 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 blah. Company drivers are going to make more because they get paid per mile. And so lease operators are really at the mercy of whatever rate they're getting. And you calculate all that when you do it. So, it's just a matter of knowing which way you want to go. So that's really, like I said, in a nutshell, the two differences between lease and company. So for me, when I chose whether to go lease or company, I thought that for me and my family, it'd be better if I could go back whenever I wanted. What I didn't want to do is go company and then have to basically ask permission to go home. Now, it's not to say that at least they'll tell you, no, you can't do that. But it's really up to you because you're contracted with Prime, so they really can't tell you no. With being a company driver, I've heard of stories where they've told them, no, you can't, you're gonna have to wait, there's too many people out, or whatever the reason might be. Another thing is loads. I get to choose what loads I want. If I don't like the load I got and I want to wait for something that's better, I can do that. Company drivers can't do that. Whatever load you get is what you're taking. That's just the way it is. So I feel like I have more freedom as a lease driver than I do as a company driver. And of course, the number one reason for me is, like I said, my family and my home time. The money is gonna get good. I'm a good driver. I know what to do. I know what not to do. I know how to save fuel. I can trip plan, all that stuff. I did fuck up with this last load. I should have looked at my, what I should have done was looked at the route and then looked to see how much time I had. And so now I know for next time to do that. So that was something I always do. I always do that. But I was just frustrated that I was mad because I had to drive 11 hours to Kansas City. So I wasn't thinking, and I remember the last time I looked at my hours, I had plenty, but I let it slip my mind that, hey man, you just drove 11 hours. So that was my fault, not their fault. But again, we'll do. That's just what it is. Hopefully, this next few loads or whatever. Now, and also now that I got the high val stuff, I can I'll get better loads. But yeah, being able to be home and being able to choose when I take that home time, that was big for me. If I say I want to go home for Thanksgiving, I want to make sure that I plan it out ahead of time. That way I know, okay, I'm going to stay out for this long, and then I can go home for Thanksgiving. Same thing for Christmas. I want to be able to do all this stuff, and I can do that as long as I'm making sure I'm planning out all that stuff. To be able to go home for a couple days for Christmas, at least for maybe 3 days. I know they do things like, oh, if you stay out, we'll pay you, or I know they put your name in for a truck and all that shit. That's cool and everything, but honestly, if I gave up my home time to, for the chance of getting a truck and I didn't get it, I'd be pissed. So, anyways, those are just a few reasons why I went lease. Now, like I said, I know that depending on who your trainer is, depending on the people that you've talked to, the people that you know, the videos that you've watched, it's gonna affect your decision. Don't let anyone affect your decision on what to do with your home life. That's really what it comes down to. That's what it has nothing to do with like money and home time. What it really has to do with is what works best for you. If you're a single guy and you don't have any bills and all that stuff, maybe leasing might work out better for you. If you've got a family, maybe company might work out better for you. Maybe they'll both be fine. It really comes down to each and everyone's personal circumstance. It has nothing to do with anything else, really. That's really what it comes down to when they're trying to make a decision on what do I do. Now for some people it is money motivated. That it is money motivated, and that's just the way it is. For a lot of people, it's family motivated. I'm already going to spend a bunch of time away from my family. At least I have like a set time I can do that with. If I go company or whatever. All the videos that you watch, all the people that you talk to, more than likely they're all going to tell you don't go lease. And even if the freight was awesome, they'd probably still tell you not to go lease. Supply and demand. The more lease operators there are, it's the less freight there is to go around. And it's not different in any other company. If you were to go to some other company, it's not different. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, we have way more freight than that company. They really don't. Some companies have dedicated routes, and I wish Prime got more into that. I wish they would do more dedicated routes. I don't know why they don't. If they did, and if it was closer to home and stuff like that, I would definitely do a regional, dedicated route. And if I got paid good money to do it, but anyways, those are the reasons why some people choose leasing or company, and those are some of the reasons why I decided to do that. I wanted to be in my own space. I also eventually wanted to be able to train. You can train on both sides, both lease and company, but you're going to make a hell of a lot more money doing it in lease than you will with company, because again, you're getting paid per mile with 50 some odd cents or whatever it is. I know it's more for team. When your company, so I don't know what it is for company. I know it's on the website, but it's still more if you're going lease. And if you get really good ass loads, I mean, you could be making upwards of $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a week. But you just got to remember, you got to pay that trainee. So, but if you manage all of that really well, then you'll be okay. You'll be fine. So yeah. Anyways, that's basically what the reasons for me why I went lease. There was when the company I came from back home, they the housing market got really bad. I know it's getting better, but I needed to do something else. Like I wanted to make more money. I couldn't just sit by and make $400 a week. So hopefully, this was a good move to make. Like I said, I'm going to give it a few months, and if a few months it doesn't pick back up, I can always go back to my old job. If I needed to do that. I don't think I'll need to do that, but we'll see. I also put my name in today or actually it was yesterday for training. I know they say you got to be here for so often, you got to do this and do that. I've had my CDL for 10 years. They say you got to have your CDL for like a year or two or something like that. If I've done all that. So I don't know what they consider professional driving. In my opinion, if you have a CDL, you are a professional driver. So you know, I get it. Some people have done like dump trucks and things like that, but I feel like it's very one, like this, like, you know, looking through like a tunnel, you know, when they try to talk about this stuff, like it's got to be Swift or Knight or CR England or Variant or Prime or whatever. Like those are the only thing they consider professional driving. Sorry, I don't see it that way, but anyways, hopefully I'll be able to get training or to be able to get a training. I want to do TNT at first. I know people talk about doing PSD and stuff, but you know, I don't know. I don't really mind it. It's just PSD and TNT are different. Well, that's in a whole nother video. But let's see, what time is it? 9 o'clock. So yeah, about that time I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna go grab some breakfast. I'm gonna grab something to drink. It's warming up pretty good, so hopefully I don't gotta idle the truck today. It's not really very windy, so hopefully it's gonna stay cool today. Again, tell me in the comments if the audio was better in this one. I don't know if it's different on the tablet. Like I said, it's like a 1 or 2 year old older tablet. So I think I have the latest iPhone. This is, I think, 2 years behind the tablet. So it's thinner. It's not like, you know, how the newer iPhones and iPads are a little bit thicker. It's not that one. It's the thinner one. And like I said, I think it's like a 9th or 10th generation. It's not like crazy old. So I don't know why you guys, somebody said that you couldn't hear it in stereo or something. So I don't know. I watched it on both the iPad and my phone, and it worked perfectly fine. So I really don't understand, but whatever. Anyways, if you guys have any more requests for videos, man, you can comment and let me know below. You know, I'm hoping today's what, Wednesday. I'm hoping today I'll be ready to go. You know, I can shoot him a message saying, hey, I'd really like to, you know, get a load out of here. Hopefully it's, let's say Wednesday, Thursday. Hopefully it's tomorrow. That way, because I really like leaving in the middle of the night. That way, when I stop, there's somewhere to park. I'm hoping they're gonna have something going towards Texas. I'm fairly confident they're gonna have me going back towards Kansas City or that direction. Because it'll be a lot easier to get a meat load going south. So I'm hoping that's the case, but again, you know, no way to know. But let me let you guys go. You know, hopefully that answered your question. I forgot who had asked that in the comments. So hopefully they answered your question about why I decided to go lease, and that hopefully that gives you some idea on why people choose to go lease or choose to go company. If it didn't, I don't know what to tell you, because there's really not very many answers to give as to why you would go lease or why you would go company. There's really only two deciding factors, and it's money and home time. You know, you get more money and more access to go on home time as a lease operator, and you get a little bit less money as a company driver, and a little bit, you know, you have to stay out for so many weeks in order to get so many days to go home. So I think it was 3 weeks for 3 days for company. So, you know, if you're okay with that, you know, cool. You know, if you're afraid to go lease, or you don't want to have to pay deductible for the trailer if it gets hit, or for your truck, or have to pay out of pocket for your own repairs and that kind of thing, maybe go company for 3 to 6 months, and then if you feel comfortable enough with it at that point, then go lease. That's not a bad option either. So again, you know, it's something to give yourself to think about. If you have a family, talk to them about it. Talk to your wife, talk to your, you know, your parents or whatever, you know, just try to get an idea of what makes sense for you. If you do end up going to the Prime Inc. Uncensored group or any of the Prime Inc. groups, use the fucking search tool. Please use the fucking search tool, because everyone asks the same question all the damn time. And if they would just use the search tool, it's been answered about a jillion times, especially lease and company. There's lots of videos out there to help you understand how to go lease and company. I haven't gotten around to getting my my settlement. That's another video I need to make. So that one I will record the screen, because I get my settlements digital. I don't have them printed out, and it'll make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. So I just got to figure out to make sure that I can zoom in on it. You guys can see, you know, what I see. So anyways, I haven't really had a great settlement anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But they're long as fuck, so I'll try to get that done for you guys. That way you can kind of see how it goes, and then yeah, you kind of make your own decision. So anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one. I appreciate all the love and support, and if, like I said, if you have any more requests for videos, let me know down below. Take it easy, guys.